Hi everyone, welcome to Math Wizards 123. Today we're going to be solving three problems using the order of operations, and I'm going to just wait until I see a few people joining into the room. Well, hello, I see somebody in already. If you want, you can add your first name just so I know which class you're coming from. Okay, hey, hi Carlos. Kyra's in. Boy, you guys are on time. Good for you. I had a little trouble at school with the live stream. All the comments were disabled, so I had to rush home to set this up. So thanks for waiting a couple extra minutes. Hi Carlos. All right. So this is our first problem while we're waiting for others to join in. Andrea's here. Hi Dario. Wow, we have a lot in the group. So good job, you guys. Now, go ahead and grab a sheet of paper and a pencil. If you want, you can watch me solve the first problem and then try the next one. I'm going to solve three all together using our new, hi Zahid, manuals here. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rules that we talked about and the little chant that we were doing with please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So once you have this problem copied onto your scratch paper, then we're going to come over to the side and just set up our letters so we can use this as a checklist. So we're going to start with the P and the E. I'm going to just adjust this a little so you can see better. And then when I put the M and the D, we're going to be multiplying and dividing from the left to the right, so I keep those letters together. And then adding and subtracting always comes last. Hi Lexi. Okay. So I'm going to keep watching your comments as we move along, and then hopefully you can make suggestions about what you think we should do for each step. So now I'm just looking at all of these operations. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. So using my checklist, the P stands for parentheses. So I'm just going to move along through the problem, and as soon as I see parentheses, the best thing to do is wrap a rectangle around that part so that we can keep our eyes focused on it. And then once we're done finding this value, we're going to copy everything that's on the left and everything that's on the right, because we have to solve each and every part of the problem. So some students might go ahead and just start copying the numbers and the symbols, and then when they get to the rectangle, they solve it by putting the value in. I like to go right to the rectangle and then just solve that. So you guys give me a number. What do you think I should put in for what's in the parentheses here? What's the value that you see in the parentheses? Okay, I agree with that. I'm going to add a 3 right here. Notice how I'm putting it right underneath the rectangle. And then if you want, you could also cross that out so you know you've already taken care of that. But we have a lot of other parts of this expression, so we have to keep those in the problem. I like to just kind of go backwards and copy everything I see on this side of the rectangle, and then everything that I see on the other side of the rectangle. So we still have 3 squared plus 12 divided by 3 times 8. Okay, so I see I've got 3 operations still, but I'm going to go ahead over here and cross out P since I've already taken care of the parentheses. And then if I'm moving down the list using our please excuse my dear Aunt Sally checklist, what do you think I should do next? Oh yeah, Carlos? Okay, good. Awesome. So I'm going to go over and take his suggestion, and I'm going to go ahead and just wrap a rectangle around the exponent where I see it, and then I'll come underneath and then add the value. What do you think 3 squared is? Good. I see Kyra agrees. Ray the Corgi. I'm not sure who that is right now. Okay. 6. I see 6, 6, 6. Now if I'm looking at this with an exponent, do we multiply 3 times 2? Or are we seeing the base of 3 twice and multiplying that. What would it be if I take 3 twice and then I multiply? There we go. Now I see some 9s. Good job, you guys. So now we have a 9. You can cross this out if you like. And then I need to copy everything else so that we can keep it going here. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cross out my E for exponent. So that's already taken care of. That's okay. Sometimes we just have to look at something twice and then figure it out. Hi, Aiden. Aiden's here. Okay, we're right in the middle of it. So you can keep, if you just joined in, you can just watch while we finish solving this one, and then we'll try another one after this if you want to grab some paper and a pencil. Okay, so now we're going to be multiplying and dividing, but we move from the left to the right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my other color. I like to use a different color when I make the rectangles. So I'm searching for either the multiplication symbol or a division symbol. It's whichever one I see first. So here's the first one that I see. So I'm going to wrap a rectangle around the 2 numbers that are around the symbol, and then we can take care of that. Anybody have any suggestions for 12 divided by 3? You can reverse it and think, well, what times 3 equals 12? Yeah, I agree with that one. Boom, boom, boom. Look at all those 4s. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that here. And then you can cross this out as you take care of what's inside the rectangle. But then I still have the addition of 9 and then multiplying by 8. So I'm going to just kind of scoot these in a little. Now, I'm still here on the list with multiplication and division. So I have to check the problem still and see, are there still any multiplication or division symbols? If there are, that means I'm still here. I'm not jumping to the addition and subtraction yet. I have to take care of all the multiplication and division symbols. Okay, so I'm going to slide over here, and I see the multiplication symbol, and I see a 32 already. Great job. So there's our 32. I copy the plus addition symbol, plus 9. And now we're finished with this step because all of the multiplication and division symbols are taken care of. Okay, so now we're down to addition and subtraction. Oh, look at that. You guys are done. Okay, so over here, this is our last step. When you add it, if you need to, you can come over to the side and just stack your numbers if that helps. But it's great. I love it if you can do this in your head, pulling the numbers together. Okay. Not bad. That was pretty quick. Okay, so now I'm going to just go ahead and switch to a new problem that we can take a look at. And we have in parentheses 5 squared minus 4. There's a little dot. I'm going to ask you guys what you think that means. That's a new symbol. Minus 18. What do you think this dot is right here? Anybody have any ideas on that one? Do you know? What do you think that is? Okay, Aiden's got it. You all know. Good, you've seen that before. Okay, I just wanted to check on that because sometimes kids get a little confused on the dot. So now I'm going to go ahead and just set up my steps. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And then I can start moving through the steps and just check one part at a time. So I'm looking for parentheses first. So everything that's in the parentheses, I'm going to wrap a rectangle around this so I can focus on it. But now when I look inside of here, how am I going to take 4 away from 5 squared? What do you guys think I should do with this so that I can take care of everything that's in the parentheses? We've got a 5 squared minus 4. How does that work? Okay, I see a 25. Somebody's still singing the Please Excuse Me Dear Aunt Sally song. Awesome. Solve the exponent first. Okay, so that must be where we got the 25 from. Good job, Andrea. So if you want, you can rewrite it down here, or if you want, you can kind of just take notes inside here, and we know that this part is what we're looking at right now, and that makes 25. So I still have to do the subtraction because it's all in the parentheses. So 25 minus 4, what do you guys get there? Good, 5 times 5 minus the 4, and then that brings us down to 21. Great job. Okay, so I've taken care of the values that are inside the parentheses, so we can cross out the parentheses, but we need to still copy down everything else that's inside this problem, or that's part of this problem. We still have multiplying by 2 and subtracting 18. Okay, here's the funny part is, guess what, folks? We already took care of the exponents because it happened to be inside the parentheses. So we're done there, and we can jump right to the next step, which is multiply or divide. Remember, we're always moving from the left to the right. So you're just going to move your pencil along until you see a symbol, either one of these. Whichever one comes first is what we need to take care of. All right, and we said before that this dot means the same thing as multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to wrap my rectangle around this, and yeah, great job. You're all on it. 21 times 2, everybody seems to agree with that one. So what do you think that is for the values that I can put it underneath the rectangle? Whoops, that's okay. Sometimes we have to adjust things. Sometimes we think one number and then we want to change it. That's all part of solving problems together. You guys are doing a great job. 42 makes sense to me. If you needed to, you can pull this over on the side and stack it and multiply it. And I've taken care of what's inside the parentheses here. I forgot to cross that one out. But we have to copy everything else that's outside the parentheses, right? So now I'm down to 42 minus 18. So I don't see any more multiplication or division symbols, so I can cross that off the checklist. And the last thing is to search for addition and subtraction. So this is pretty simple because there's only one symbol. Okay, and then 42 minus 18. Good job, Aiden. And what do you get? Now this, if you need to, come over to the side. It's great. I love it if you can do this in your head, if you're looking at it horizontally like this, and see if you get the right answer. I see 2 24s. Carlos agrees. Kyra, awesome. Hi. Somebody just joined us here. The one and only Stephen. There's only one of you. You got that right. I'm glad you joined us in here. We're going to solve one more, so if you want to watch us finish this one, and then you can grab some paper. Okay, so what's our final answer? 24? Are we agreeing with 24? Give me a thumbs up if you guys agree with that. Carlos, that didn't work for you? Let me come over to the side and set this up and see. Okay, Aiden's got 24. If I'm trying to subtract 8 from 2, that's not enough, so we needed to borrow. And then the 12 minus the 8 is where they got 4 from. How's that, Carlos? Does that make sense? Okay, I see a lot of 24s with thumbs up. So I think we're good there. Okay, and then the last thing is I always like to just cross it off after I take care of each step, just so I can make sure that I didn't miss any steps over here. Okay, give me a big smile emoji if you want to do one more. One more. Are we ready? Yep. Okay, so here it comes. Now this time I want you to tell me what to do. Daily videos. Oh boy. Okay, let me think about that. You want me to help you do all your homework problems? How about that? Okay, I'm going to go ahead over here and just get my... Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And it looks like I need to adjust my camera. I don't know what just happened. Give me 1 second. There. Nope. I went too far. I'll get you back. Okay, so I hear somebody saying do the 6 plus the 2 first. I don't know what's going on with the camera. Give me 1 second, guys, so I can get it back in Zoom. There's a delay on here, so everything I do, it happens like 5 seconds later. Okay, so we're going to take the 6 plus the 2. That makes sense because we have to start with what's in parentheses. So I want you to go like this for me. I notice there's this number and it's sitting right next to these parentheses right here. So just I wonder what's going on with that because I don't see a symbol in here in between the number and these. So we're going to talk about that in just a second. But go ahead and wrap a rectangle around. This is the suggestion that I see 3 people have it, so I'm going to go for that. And then what is 6 plus 2? There's an 8 from Chris. 8, 8, 8, 8. Okay, so what I want you to do is write the 8 down, but this is one of those rules we have to remember. It's another way that you can show multiplication actually. When you see a number, if it's a number that's sitting right next to the parentheses, and what this means, it's another way of showing multiplication. So if you have any number and it's sitting right next to the parentheses, then basically I could just take a symbol. Some students like to just draw a dot in there so they remember what to do. Okay, and some students will keep the parentheses so that they remember that this is sitting right next to this number, because we don't want to look at this like it's 88. It's not 88. There's something that needs to happen between these two numbers, and since there's no symbol here, we're just going to remember that whenever we see a number sitting next to the parentheses, that means multiply. So whatever symbol helps you to remember, just draw it in there in between the number and the parentheses. Okay, and then that way we can go ahead and just copy what's left like that, and then move to the next step. So I've taken care of what's inside the parentheses. I'm holding on to them though, so I remember what to do here, and then I'm going to cross this out and move to the next step. And don't worry, we'll keep practicing more of these with this situation here until we get really good with that. So exponent, that makes sense. So E is next. So I'm going to wrap a rectangle around where I see the exponent. And what do you think 9 squared is? What does that mean? Does it mean 9 times 2 and it's going to be 18? What should I do with this? 81. Yeah, that makes sense because this is the base. This is the number that tells me how many times it's being repeated. So 9 times 9 gives me 81. Great job. And then we go ahead and copy everything else. Keep that dot in there so we remember what to do when we get there. And now we're ready for the next step. Okay? Multiply or divide. So what I like to do is just take my pencil and move from the left to the right, and then whichever symbol I see first. That's subtraction, so I can pass that by. But here, this dot means multiply. So I'm actually going to take both numbers that are around that dot and then take care of it. So what do you think the value is? If yeah, good job. 8, and we're going to multiply the 8 times the 8. Do we all agree with 64? Looks like we got it. Okay, 64, and then we can copy this and copy that. And then I'm going to go ahead over here because I don't see any more multiplication or division symbols. I can cross that one out. And we are at the last step. So addition or subtraction, and there's only one, so that makes it pretty easy. And then if you want to stack it to the side, it's great. I love it if you can look at that and figure it out in your head. I'm going to give you a minute to see if you can figure that out. 81 minus 64. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 17s. Yep. There you have it. Okay, you guys, tell me one more time, what does PEMDAS mean? What do those letters mean? Who can give me the first word? What does P mean if you're moving through? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's it. Keep saying that. Keep saying it. Keep repeating it. You're going to use it forever and ever and ever. So I hope this helped. We're going to stop the live stream here, and then I hope you can join in again. We'll do this definitely next Wednesday, and we'll talk about if we're going to add any extra videos in during the week. We'll see how many are ready to participate with that. But great job coming in the room, guys. That was really fun. We got 3 done, and you guys got all the answers right, so I think you're doing pretty good. Give me a quick wave. I'll wait until everybody waves out, and then I'll click you out. And we'll see you tomorrow. Great job. The one and only Steven. Bye, Aiden. There goes Gloria. Carlos, goodbye. Andrea, good job. Kyra, thanks for helping. And Ray the Corgi. Long distance high five. Okay, guys, we'll see you soon.